bunch of gamers, one channel, and tons of games. This must be...
Tiger! Tiger uppercut! Hadouken! Hadouken!
Hey everyone, it's Tim McGee, Jumble Junkie, and welcome to Jumble Junkies. And here we are, episode 8. And you know what rhymes with 8, Alex?
What?
Masturbate.
Yay!
Oh, that was so funny when I was in like 4th grade, but here I am, 25 years old, and it's still funny. So, as always, I'm here with Alex. So, Alex, what the hell have you been up to?
I just got our review copy of Flower, Sun, and Rain, and I'm actually really interested in it, but what I'm also... I'm not going to basically say it like, on the podcast. This is confidential information, but this game is made by Suda51, the guy who's responsible for Killer 7 and No More Heroes. So, you can imagine that this game is going to be all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah, it's like a big mind fuck. Like, it's just... crazy. Those games are so insane. Like, I never played either of them, and I've always wanted to like play both of them.
Yeah.
For some reason, I've just never got around to it, so I fail there, especially.
But I also like rebought a bunch of like 360 games that I sold last year, which is, Star Wars Force Unleashed, and I'm not going to get into that. What's really interesting is that I finally have a condom for my Wii, and I got that by basically buying Tiger Woods PGA Tour Golf 2010, because as you know, if you're going to... black guys and condoms, that's all I got to say.
Well, I'm glad you're playing safe with that condom. It's all about safety.
Dude, seriously, like, I'm holding this thing right now. This is like the most ridiculous thing ever. And in case people are wondering, I'm essentially talking about the plastic holders that you have to put around the Wii, for those idiots who basically throw their Wii at their, 52-inch plasma TVs and stuff. And just looking at this, man, this is not safe. There's, holes everywhere. Tried it out last night, and, it just leaked out. It's not cool.
It's like a big strap-on for freaking Wiimotes.
It would have been a strap-on, but it's very limp.
It's very, well, I don't know if you people out there who watch porno sometimes or all the time, but those things don't always work.
Nope. They break. This has the potential to break.
Oh, Nintendo. Oh, well, I don't know. It's kind of like another peripheral. It will probably have 18 different add-ons by the time it's done its life cycle. So,
dude, I also have Grand Slam Tennis, which also uses the Wii Motion Plus peripheral. That's basically what you get. And I had to connect the Wii remote to the Wii Motion Plus, and I had to connect the nunchuck, to the Wii Motion Plus. So it's like a 3-way.
Sexy. You should have waited for Virtua Tennis, man.
Virtual Tennis is out.
Oh, is it out already? Well, I'm sorry. That comes with the Wii Motion Plus, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I was going to say, that'd be totally worth it, because that game owns, especially the Dreamcast one, and I got it on PSP, and that shit's fun, man.
Yeah, it's a great game. I love Virtual Tennis. I think that was the second tennis game that I played since tennis for the NES.
not to toot Sega's horn, but they've always had really sweet sports games back in the day.
Yeah, and you remember that volleyball game?
The volleyball game was sweet, dude. Decathlon for Saturn.
Yeah.
Me and my buddies would sit down in his basement and play that for hours and hours and hours. We thought Decathlon was the greatest. It's kind of like an arcade-ish game, but it's so fun.
Yep.
And of course, you get the 2K games that came out on Dreamcast, and
yep.
I'm not a huge football fan, but those games were freaking sick. But
they're talking about also in the Genesis, Joe Montana football. That was awesome.
I have Joe Montana Sports Talk Football. Yeah, I still have that, and I thought that was awesome too. And quick story before I get going here about Joe Montana Sports Talk Football. You can get a touchdown virtually every play. All you've got to do is do a running play, run backwards all the way back to their end zone, do a loop around, and run back, and they'll never catch you.
I did not know that. You know, I actually tried doing that, and I was wondering if it was like if because I only tried it once, and I was like, huh, this game is too easy. And of course, I tried all the other plays, and I couldn't replicate it. So
No,
it's
you just do the same thing. Or we do like a sweep play, just go all the way back and all the way around. It was a touchdown every time. It was kind of like with the Tecmo Super Bowl for NES. You just pick the Raiders and pick Bo Jackson and do the same play. It was like a touchdown every time. Like we used to play these games nonstop and just get to the point of like mastering them all.
Oh man.
But
awesome.
me, kind of the same deal. Although like lately, I don't know why I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 4 a lot, which is really strange.
You're talking about like both the online and the single player element.
Right. Well, at first it was you doing the online thing, and my buddy kind of works like a third shift, so we used to play like free mode and just fuck around doing backflips on motorcycles or just being assholes and killing people when they're trying to do things. But he hasn't been online, so I was like, oh, you know what? Let's play the single player again because I'd never quite finished it. I'm like 90% done the game. And I'm really getting back into it again. It's like, wow, I should really play through this again because it is such a fun game.
It's funny you mentioned that because like I think it was the weekend before last, like we actually popped in like Grand Theft Auto 4 and we were like just floored by like how crazy the storyline was. And you know, people will think of it as like, oh, it's just you being a criminal again. No, it's actually a lot deeper than that. It actually talks a lot about like immigration and all that stuff. Like it's really unexpectedly deep. And you know, I kind of feel sorry for the guys who got slammed by picking that game as their game of the year because it's definitely like a really good game, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was between that and Fallout 3. I was like, but you know, I don't know. I guess Fallout 3 was a little more fresh on my mind, so I dug that a little bit more. But actually, I have more playtime in Grand Theft Auto 4 than I do in Fallout 3. Believe it or not.
Oh, I can believe that. The freaking storyline in Fallout 3 is pretty damn short.
Yeah, in the side quests and stuff. I mean, after you finish that, you maybe have 30 hours. Grand Theft Auto, I'm not even finished the game, not even the main storyline. I haven't really touched any of the side stuff, and I'm like 35 hours in. So, yeah. So I mean, it's definitely sweet. But other than that, just plugging away at Crimson Gem Saga and Persona 4, and RPGs just take too much time. So I only play them when I got lots of free time, which is not too much.
How is Persona 4? Like, how far are you in it?
I defeated like the first Yukiko's Persona bitch thing, so I got her all situated. Now she's like all emo, and I have to wait for her to be all better. So I guess that's time for me to go like link up with my chicks and try to get laid or try to get girlfriends or something.
Or get laid by Yosuke.
Yeah, I love Persona 4, but the thing I find that I don't like is like I feel like I have to like play an hour or two before I get to a next save point. So you really got to like devote a lot of time till you get to the next save point.
I'll show you some save points because there's a lot of save points in the game that you can actually use to bypass all that waiting, you know.
Right, but with like Crimson Gem Saga, it's like the most perfect RPG in the world because I like to play my PSP on my lunch break at work, and you can load and save pretty much anywhere you want, which is amazing. So that is awesome. But
let's not get into like the first boss battle.
yeah. We'll talk about that. I gotta review hopefully soon. I gotta play more. But I guess with that, we should jump into our first news story here. Very, very bizarre stuff. I mean, I've seen some really fucked up shit, and this one is really, really fucked up. And I actually got a funny story to go along with this. And it says, man carves NES controller into his flesh. Yes, it's like, not really need to read this, but pretty much what this guy did is, what they do is they take like a razor blade, and they'll carve like pictures and stuff into their flesh, and then they'll put rubbing alcohol on it, and they'll light it on fire, which like makes it, whatever they do it, whatever they call it. But anyways, it just so it makes the image stay there. So after a while, after it all heals and scabs over and stuff, it's like a scar of a freaking, whatever they put. So this guy did an NES controller on his forearm. And when I saw this, it didn't really shock me too much because the first time I ever saw something like this, anyone who's like a big like thrash or a big metal fan, there was an old VHS tape or an old DVD for the band Slayer, and they open up that video with a guy getting Slayer carved into his arm with like an X-Acto knife, and then they light it on fire and stuff. So that was the first time I got exposed to this sicko shit. But
Well, what I'm
Wow.
I'm trying to find the source of this, and I keep like getting like so much like this is like 7 layers deep in terms of like just in general like like just sourcing and stuff. And I looking at the guy's profile on this site called BM Easy, and I'm just like, I guess that's cool. I mean, if that's your thing, it says it's on a site called BME News, and I kid you not, the header is basically say piercing, tattoos, and I didn't even know this was something valid, scarification.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of this. I've never. You don't hear much of it, but